Yeah, let's do it, guys. We'll dive into our first topic. It's brought to us today by FanDuel. The NBA is back. The NFL is gearing up for the playoffs, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, the NFL, and the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when their first $5 bet wins. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And if you have a winning FanDuel ticket, make sure you send it in to us so we can feature it right here on the show.
Chair.
All right, Bull, you and I were speaking prior to the show.
We were.
And one of the things we were discussing was this first topic.
Yeah.
The Browns are 6.5-point underdogs at home against the 49ers this Sunday. Shedeur's first home start. I wanted to ask this pretty straightforward, and then it'll divulge into the second part of the topic.
Lock it in.
The under?
I'm locked
Are
in.
the Niners good enough
No.
to be...
Bad weather?
Well, the weather is a factor. And by the way, do you see this? How bad the weather's going to be?
Yeah.
No, it was the forecast
Like 2 feet.
of snow.
Oh, I didn't realize it was supposed to be that much snow.
Dude, I'm worried about I've got to fly to Utah tomorrow morning.
Oh.
So they're saying tonight at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
1 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be between like 1 a.m. and like 10 p.m. like Friday night. 2 feet.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that leading up. Yeah,
I'm
it's going to
I'm
be
looking
cold.
at this
It's
right
going to
now.
be nasty.
It's crazy.
I didn't realize we were going to get such a big snowstorm.
And like today, you don't notice out there the wind and stuff?
I mean, it's windy, yeah.
Well, then the temperature's going to drop.
Yeah, right.
And
It's actually warm this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a big time drop. It's coming. It's all.
Is
I
it?
mean, it's like the size of like half the country.
Oh, wow.
It's a big ass storm.
I did
That's
not realize
crazy.
that. So you're going to have crazy weather, right?
They're saying it's 80% chance of snow for the Ohio State Michigan game.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that later because that obviously plays a role in that.
Sunday, according to weather.com real quick, and I did not know this until literally right now, so Dustin, thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Weather.com has a high of 38, windy with rain and snow showers mixed in, temps near steady in the mid to upper 30s, southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, chance of precipitation 60%.
Yeah, I mean, I already like the under even if it was decent weather here. But
Problem with those unders that seem like gimmies is
Yeah.
like, you got a rookie quarterback playing, there's a possibility for turnovers.
Sure, and Brock Purdy turned the ball over 3 times.
Yeah.
And the last time I think he played here in bad weather, he turned the ball over a bunch too. So we could see, and that could screw the under. But even last week, I thought the under was a lock, and it was close, but it did hit the under.
Yeah, because they punted at the 29 instead of kicking the field goal. The
Yeah,
field
that
goal,
was
if
fair
he kicks the
enough.
field goal, it goes over.
Was Kevin Stefanski involved in some
Did
shenanigans?
you see that video the guy posted?
No, I did not.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Are you kidding me?
He had the over?
They punted from the 29.
Yeah, that.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, it was-
I know he has some.
We were
bird
in the
line.
middle of our watch party.
Yeah.
We didn't even realize necessarily what was happening in
Yeah.
that moment, Bo. We were just so excited that we were going to have a win
win.
for the Browns,
Yeah, right.
talking about
Right.
what Shedeur did.
I was already gone, I think, by the time that happened.
Yeah, we glossed over the fact that I didn't even
Oh,
realize
I'm
that
sure
after
all the
29.
bettors thought they were going to line up for a field goal, and they're like, "Why is the field goal kicker 12
Yeah.
yards deep?"
Yeah, right.
They
It
looking
doesn't make
at
any sense.
their kids' Christmas list. Oh yeah, we gonna
They're
get that
counting
off.
their money.
They're like, yeah, let's go. And then they're like, hold on, hold on. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Baracus?
Yeah.
For what?
He's the holder.
Yeah.
So why is the kicker not in the game?
So the question for Mike is the spread right? 6.5.
Are the Niners actually that good?
That's a good.
Or do the Browns have a chance?
I think it's
That's
perfect.
the perfect spread.
Yeah. I think people are getting carried away because of last week's game, thinking the Browns are better than what they are.
Yeah.
They're still a very flawed offense with a young quarterback who's going to have some ups and downs.
Bingo.
So we all understand the Browns' defense is very good. I mean, we get that. But there's a big difference between the Niners' offense and the Raiders' offense.
Yes, I remember this game is reminiscent when we went to it was 2023 when they won that game. I think that weather was kind of bad too.
Yeah.
I think the weather was kind of terrible. It was raining. I think they missed a field goal at the end.
That was a higher scoring game, wasn't it?
No, it was
No?
very.
Jake Moody missed a field goal that would have won the game at the very end.
Right. What was the final score of that game, Mike? I remember him missing the field goal.
P.J. Walker played in the game.
1917. 1917.
Oh, it wasn't on.
Wasn't there a pick six in that game?
These
What
are the
were the
scores.
touchdowns in that game?
These are the scores in the game. You had a 13-yard McCaffrey pass from Brock Purdy. Jake Moody, a 25-yard field goal to make it 10-0. Kareem Hunt, 16-yard touchdown run. Hopkins, 2 field goals.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason had an 8-yard touchdown run.
Right.
Dustin Hopkins, 2 more field goals to win it. So
The
4 field
Browns-
goals and 1
the Browns
touchdown.
scored 1 touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is a different animal here.
But
And they can block him up.
He got injured in that game. So
That's right. That's why
did.
Jordan Mason played.
Yeah, he
That's
got
right.
injured in that game. And if you think of it, during that first drive, they were spot shadowing him a lot. They was giving him balls. Say, oh, this might be one of those. He went out of the game. This kind of reminds me of it because, you go back and watch the game. They gave, on that first drive, Christian McCaffrey touched the ball like almost 8 times or something and to start that game. So that's really what's going to be the game plan, is making sure Christian McCaffrey can get the ball, especially if it's bad weather. Purdy threw 3 interceptions last week. I think they're going to try to establish the run. I do think it'll be a close game. 6.5 is cool. And the reason I say it's cool is because he's going to have to – the Browns offense is going to have to show you something over a sustained period of time before people start to say, oh, this isn't just a team that has a defense. These guys can do certain things on offense too. So I think this is a great opportunity for them to see what they can do. But 6.5 is cool with me. 6.5 cool.
Yeah, I just think, the Niners are a good team. They're not a great team. They've got flaws. They're not very good at getting to the quarterback, as we talked about with some of these Myles Garrett stats, because they've got a lot of injuries on their defense. But as we saw against Carolina, their defense is still pretty good. Mm-hmm. We're opponent rushing yards.
About 100.
Okay. So I don't know.
They're allowing 200.
Where are they analytically there, Mike?
They're an average defense.
Yeah, right.
They don't generate a ton of pressure. They've been decent with turnovers. They're pretty good against the run. They've given up some pass. Their secondary's been banged up, but they've across the board, like the advanced analytics, they're middle of the pack.
That's the thing.
They've got a good defensive coordinator. Robert
Yeah.
Saleh is known for having a good defense.
Yeah.
They're solid.
And they're, unlike the Raiders, they know what Shedeur struggles with now as a young quarterback, and they will
they'll try
probably
to
do a
exploit
better
it,
job of trying to exploit it. Every young quarterback has his flaws. Well, most quarterbacks have flaws, period. Certainly every young quarterback, no matter how good he is, has flaws, and the smart coaches are able to exploit it more than especially when you have talent.
Well, here's what I do like, and I kind of said this earlier when we talk about the keys to the game for the Browns, is, if they want to bring that pressure, right? If you're going to bring that pressure, you end up with people in man-to-man coverage, right? If it's a wet track, if it's a slippery track, you miss a tackle. Somebody can
be a big
gone.
play. Yeah, sure.
It could be, and we saw it with Dylan Sampson, where they block it up great. It's a quick little out pass, and then all of a sudden he's off to the races. So these are the things that I think you got to consistently continue to give Shedeur Sanders. Give him a couple of shot plays to make guys back off you. But if the Browns do want to win this football game, they're going to have to – Judkins is going to have to be a key part of it. He has to. You can't have him getting 30 or 40 yards and expect to win the football game. He has to be a force in running the football and controlling the line of scrimmage and controlling the flow of the game. Because I still don't like the Browns getting into track meets, Dustin.
No,
I don't.
They don't need to be getting into a shootout because they'll lose.
Yeah,
They're not talented enough offensively to get into a game where they've got to put up 30 points.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I'd be surprised if they need to 30 points to win this game, but especially with the weather. But obviously you never know.
You never know. I mean, the Niners can get 4 touchdowns easily.
I think beyond the obvious of turnovers, I think at the end of this game, if Christian McCaffrey does not have a good game, then the Browns have a great chance to win. Mm-hmm. But if Christian McCaffrey has a Christian McCaffrey game, the Niners will probably win the game and could win it handily. Because the Browns have, for the most part, done a good job against star skill position players this year. For the most part, they've done well. But who's one guy that really did well against the Browns, if I remember correctly? Jahmyr Gibbs, right? He had a big game against the Browns. Mm-hmm. Well, Christian McCaffrey is the same type of player as Jahmyr Gibbs, right? He's a utility knife that,
Catches
from the
the
running
ball,
back position,
runs the
does
ball.
everything
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs and Christian McCaffrey are 2 of the 5 best backs in the league. They're what Quinshon Judkins should aspire to be. He's a good player, but he's not the well-rounded player right now. Those guys are veterans. It makes sense. And if McCaffrey is doing ultimately last week, even with the turnovers by Purdy, like he got McCaffrey going after those turnovers. He rushed for a ton of yards. He caught like 10 passes or whatever the hell it was, and they won the game. I know they have Kittle, and their wide receivers are certainly better than what the Raiders got.
Pearsall's a good player.
Yeah, but he was injured. He hasn't really gotten back in the rhythm yet.
Yeah, he's healthy now though. But I mean, he's not.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything. No.
Yeah, they need to get him the ball a little more. But ultimately, McCaffrey is what makes them tick. McCaffrey and Kittle, those guys.
The exciting whites.
Yes. The white dude, the Backstreet Boys are alive and well. Like and if you think about it like this, on the side of the 49ers, you can't turn the ball over. You can't throw 3 picks. If you throw 3 picks against the Browns, you got a good chance of losing because that's the only way you're going to give them an opportunity to put themselves in really good field position and turning the football over. Look, so they can't do that.
The Browns aren't like full-on military academy, but they need to stay on schedule.
Yes, 100%.
And like I only bring those teams up because if Army or Navy has a turnover and they're playing a really high-powered offense, they're effed.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they're screwed. And the Browns with a young quarterback are kind of similar. Like punts are okay. Like you just can't turn the ball over and give the team a short field or give them points off the turnover. Those are the critical areas where you have to. You have to be on it, and if they can play a clean game on offense, and when I say a clean game, like it's okay if drives stall or whatever, but like you got to have drives where you at least get a couple first downs before you punt and chew up some clock and keep their offense off the field because your defense is your strength. You don't want those guys getting gassed.
There it is. He said it. Yeah. That's a great point. You don't have to have scoring drives every single time you touch the ball, but it is key. Give me 2-3 first downs. Yeah. It's okay to give me a couple first downs. If it stalls, we'll punt and play field position.
Yeah.
But you got to move the chains. The things that get you is attrition by small cuts. If you go 3 and out and it's bad weather and you're inside your own territory and you got to punt from your 20, then you get a bad punt. They get the ball on the 50-yard line, and now all of a sudden short field. So you got to be able to move the chains enough. And I'll be interested to see which ways that Tommy Rees goes about it. Here's one of the things that we kind of talk about all the time is cold weather and bad weather. Until we get that dome, that's part of being the Cleveland Browns quarterback. And one of the things that we have not seen, and it's always funny when we watch it for the first time, is do you have an advantage at quarterback? Do you have a quarterback that understands the weather and the footing? Does he not slip? Can he get the snap?
Yeah.
Things like that help you out a little bit because that's going to be important. Like little stuff like, I didn't get the snap correctly, or we couldn't get the hold down for the kick. The Browns, being a cold weather team, they have to do those little things while other teams are supposed to struggle. So I'll be interested to see that.
The Browns have so many young. Like, has Shedeur played in really bad weather? I don't even know. Like, Colorado, they get bad weather sometimes.
I'm trying to think if I remember any.
But in college, usually the season's over around now.
No, but it's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold in Boulder.
I don't know about the thing that's here is
Carson Schlesinger, I'm sure, hasn't played in cold weather.
The precipitation.
Not that it matters.
It's the same weather as Denver, dude. It's like it's
No, well, Schlesinger played at UCLA.
Right. So, I'm talking about Shedeur. I mean, so he's played in these conditions. I don't know if he played any snow games, but it's like.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a blizzard on Sunday.
Yeah,
it might be some drizzle.
The wind.
The wind's the biggest factor.
Wind is the biggest part. And then, too, you find out quickly who got the arm straight. One person who I never really worried about was Baker. So Baker, when he was here, people was like, does he have an arm? Like, Baker never had no problem cutting it through the wind. Like, you wouldn't have to worry about his arm. But when you saw guys, it was evident when you had Cody Kessler's, the Colt McCoys, and you're like, that ball was in the air for a long time right there.
Yeah.
But I'll be interested to see exactly what it looks like in the game plan moving forward because, Chase Daniels said, they had a lot of training wheels on the offense, which by all intents and purposes, you probably should for the first game. What does that look like this week? Do you have more, moves, and do you have a little more autonomy to move the protections, and what are they going to look to do? Well, I will say one thing: the wild dog will be in effect. they will be doing, especially if it's bad weather, they will be doing that. So get used to it.
And of course, obviously, the Browns need to stay out of third and longs. They were still in a lot of third and longs. And the thing with third down just in general, and this is a big advantage that the Niners have right now over the Browns, is Christian McCaffrey's in the game on third down, and Quinshawn Judkins is not. And I get it that these other guys may be better blockers, but Quinshawn Judkins is your best player on offense. And so if he's off the field on third down, that's a disadvantage.
It is.
Whereas McCaffrey is the best player on the Niners, they don't ever take him off the field, or once in a while. But
I'd rather keep Judkins in a game and take one of the receivers out.
100%.
Because what you're going to need in this game, break tackles.
When the ball is in that dude's hands, good things happen.
Yeah.
You need somebody who, in this game, sloppiness or cold weather, make those guys tackle. Make them tackle you. Like that, make them make a play and make them consistently get off that cold ground and wrap up. Those are the things that you can. If I watch the game and the Browns come out with a win, I can tell you, Harold Fanner Jr. was a load to bring down. Quinshawn Judkins ran through people's tackles. Those are the type plays where the hidden yardage come from, because you don't got anybody that's going to get you deep. Like Cedric Tillman is not going to, run 9 routes past you. So those are the little small things. And Christian McCaffrey, the thing that scares me, he's not going to scare me in the run game, but they do a doggone good job in that screen game. Their screen games is diverse as they come. It isn't a regular drop back. They do a lot of stuff. They give them a lot of swing passes too, where it's just, hey, even if you manned up, and we're going to give it to him and see if you can tackle him in space.
And the thing is, I'd be interested to see, because the Browns play obviously super aggressive on defense. And that could play into the Niners' hands on those screen passes. McCaffrey sets the defense up a lot. And Purdy, the way they set it up, and everybody's coming. Yep. Now there's nobody there. And McCaffrey's all alone. He's got to beat one linebacker, maybe.
Right. And against a team like the Browns, who were so aggressive at trying to get to the quarterback because they know they have to.
Yeah.
Shanahan's so good at knowing the timing, like when to actually. It's not just a third and long when everyone expects it.
Yeah,
he'll hit it on 1st and 10, second and 10.
Or the second and 4 screen is devastating.
Yeah, second and 4.
If you're Jim Schwartz, are you saying to Carson Schlesinger, all right, you're following McCaffrey on every play? Is that something you do, or is that not really something you can do?
No, it's not really something that you can do. Certain occasions you can, but you're not going to just assign him to McCaffrey the whole game.
Right. But he's ultimately, a lot of these cases where the D-line is, they're all going in and we're dumping off that screen pass, it's going to be up to him. There's going to be a lot of, the game could come down to Schlesinger versus McCaffrey.
There will be plays where you can essentially, you spy a quarterback, but you could essentially spy him.
Right.
I remember, man, this is crazy. This is back in high school. We were we would run a little bit of triple option and stuff, and we were playing North Canton Hoover my senior year, and there was a kid who played linebacker for North Canton who was a sophomore. Kurt Lukens.
Oh man,
and he ended up going to Ohio State too.
Yep.
He was a full ride at Ohio State. Had a bunch of injuries, but he's an awesome athlete. He was like the Carson Schlesinger of the Federal League.
Okay.
And this mother stinker.
Every
play tackled me. When I didn't have the ball. Like
it's not a penalty.
It was like an option play, and he would run right to me and lay me out every. And I was
how much bigger was he than you?
He was about the same size, maybe,
tackler.
but just a freak athlete linebacker, and I was getting. I was like. Took me out of the game.
Coach, how about we try something else here, buddy?
I don't think I did anything in the game.
He run triple option. If they fake the dive, we got to hit the dive. And then we're gonna hit your quarterback.
But he was on the pitch player, but he didn't even care about the quarterback. He's like Rocco Milano. He ain't worried about him.
His job was always you every time. What was your quarterback's name?
Rocco Milano.
Rocco Milano. That's a good Italian name right there.
These names,
that's a good one.
The Italian style.
You going to the mob after that?
Nah, but he was like the best looking dude. He got all
the girls.
The girls.
Oh, Rocco. Good man. What's he up to?
Chiropractor.
Shout out to
He's doing well for himself. All right.
Rocco.
Shout out to Rocco.
There you go.
All right, guys.